what this socialist Muslim just said in this clip was more America first than anything I've been hearing coming out of the Republican Party for the past 8 months. You
Yeah.
guys need a reality check. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Patriots Table. We're joined again by my lovely wife Andrea, and America has come to an end. We have been taken over. I mean, everybody's losing their minds, right?
I don't know about
It's the
everybody. Some
I
Kind
people.
of.
I should
I'm
say
fine.
I should say the Republican Party, the neocons, the Zionists. I mean, everybody's losing it. We have a Muslim as mayor of New York City. Like it's so the land of the free where we don't discriminate against your religion or your race. Anybody can come here legally and do everything, and it's just all hunky dory, except if you're from the Middle East.
Exactly.
Then you're not welcome here. You can't do it. Like it's just like, is
Well, the
this
funny
real
thing is,
life?
this guy is not from the Middle East either. I mean, he's
Hmm.
from Uganda. So
Yeah.
his mother is Indian, his father is a Ugandan, native of Uganda, and he's like one of the, extremely well-known professor at Columbia University. And the mom actually is a film producer, who has produced a few films. So these people have been here in this country, been giving back to this country, and then all of a sudden the son decides to run, and all hell breaks loose. Uh, it's Islamic terrorists now in charge. I mean, I
Oh
asked
my
people
gosh.
like, show me the proof that and they send me a picture of him with some imam in 1993. I mean, like that's like saying if you took a picture with Jeffrey Dahmer 10 years before he was, seen chasing little boys around and eating them. I mean, that makes you, by association of that picture, also a serial killer. I mean, that's so stupid. I mean, this kind of logic, extension of logic to these things, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. But here we are. I mean,
Hmm.
like, and it's not just left, right. I mean, it's everybody. Uh,
Hmm.
People are like, and truth to be told, like, I think people in this country like fear these words socialist. Socialism is feared here because we
It's
are a
conditioned
capitalist
so
society,
hardcore
right?
since Nazi Germany and
Yeah,
Soviet
yeah. I
Russia,
think it's
communism, socialism, all of it's so
Mhm.
bad. And when you're listening to these Zionists and all these people trashing this guy, and you have Trump coming out, and it's so sick that you're gonna have all these Republicans, all these people who were so appalled by what our government did during COVID are gonna sit here and be, we want Kumo. What?
He
You
no,
want
yeah,
literally,
the guy with the blood of tens of thousands on his hands, like he's like ridiculous. You're gonna cheer him on, and then I never heard any argument against this guy's policies. It was all he's a Muslim, he's gonna bring Sharia law to America. You're gonna have grown men marrying 9-year-old little girls. Men are gonna be able to beat their wives senselessly. Well, I mean, I don't know what hole people are living in, but a lot of that stuff's going on anyway. The domestic violence in this country is abhorrent, and a lot of those homes happen to be Christian homes. Can't say don't want nobody wants to look at that, but nobody's talking about his policies or anything. It's just overt racism and a religious dogma. That's all they come up with, and we're going to support a murderer. I mean,
and
that's
I
how I
mean,
look
as
at it.
far as
I mean,
policies may not be, his policies may not be all that like applicable. I mean, I don't know how he's going to do some of the things that he has said. I mean, I'm not, you know, for or against or anything like that. I'm just concerned that we are making this fuss because the man is of a different faith, and that we are now blanket. Everybody of that faith is considered terrorists, jihadists, uh, we're going to fall. 9/11 comes up, a lot. I mean, like, people say, like, we said we are never going to forget, but here we are, electing a similar kind of person. I mean, like, that this guy has nothing to do or not even remotely connected to 9/11 or anything of that nature. I mean, he's a good person. I am going to say that. I mean, to me, at this point, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, in a year from now, we'll figure out that he's not a good person. I'll be the first to say, okay, I was wrong. But at this point, we have nothing to go against his, winning this election or running for this election. And
Well, I'll make a point
63%,
right now, but like he hasn't done anything yet. Kumo's done plenty. So
right.
to turn around after going through COVID and go, well, we need to like support and we want Kumo because this guy's just so bad. This guy hasn't done anything, but you're gonna go for the criminal? Kumo should be in prison. I'll just straight up say it. And it really doesn't matter
Yeah.
what your politician comes out and says. They're a Christian, they're a Buddhist, they're a Muslim. It doesn't matter. Anyone can get up there and lie and hide and manipulate and use their religion to serve an agenda. I don't know if anyone's looked around lately, but that's been happening on steroids. It really doesn't matter what you say you believe in.
Right.
Yeah.
And for anybody who wants to think this isn't about the religion and a Zionist agenda, we got a clip for you that just puts it makes it very, very scary obvious, and you can't argue with it. So let's take a watch here.
New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't,
Okay.
he
Not
won't
as a
say it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike
No,
you, I
you
answer.
never-
Unlike
you
you, I
never
answer
said
questions
no.
very
Okay.
directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah, if you'd like to have his bar mitzvah.
Okay, but
And we have people who claim that this is not about Zionism or Israel. I mean, I had somebody tell me today that I'm so obsessed with it. I mean, it's not, it's right in your freaking face.
What?
Okay. I mean, everybody, why the hell would a U.S. politician want to go to Israel and kiss a wall when there's work to be done here? I mean, I support what he said, right? Israel has the right to exist, does not have the right to kill people and take over their land. Right? We've talked
They
about
have the
that
right
ad
to
nauseum,
exist. And let me say this, for all the GOP, the right wing, the MAGA people who've been all about MAGA, make Israel great again, what this socialist Muslim just said in this clip was more America first than anything I've been hearing coming out of the Republican Party for the past 8 months. You guys need a reality check. This is really, really bad. Like, you want to know why this happened? You want to know why everybody's freaking out about, oh, what happened? Where was MAGA? You shit in their face. You guys have been spitting in their faces, and none of the stuff you've been doing is America first. What this guy just said was more America first.
I mean,
yeah,
like,
which is
let's just
probably
add
why.
to that. But like, no one, like at all, at least I can speak to the younger generation now. We don't want the Bush era back. Nobody wants that back. It's not going to happen again. And these people like Lindsey Graham and all of them are coming back like it's going to. Like we're all just going to go along with it. We all know better. We've tried that. Yeah, sure, it was before I was old enough probably to vote, but I came out on the end of it and I saw the damage and I paid attention because my father taught me politics at a very young age. I've paid attention a long time. It doesn't work.
And you can see the younger generation, is going that way too. And there's two things that are clearly obvious in this, in this New York City mayor election, right? The Jewish people in New York City voted for Mamdani, which is interesting by itself. And, the Jerusalem Post just said that only 37% of them voted for him and 67 or 63% voted for Cuomo. I don't believe that because, I think the Jerusalem Post is
Even
not
if that's
reliable.
the case, that's alarming
That's
that you
still
would
a lot.
have
Yeah,
30
that's still a
something
lot.
percent of the
Right,
like that's
exactly. So
still a lot. Like, well, you're not making it any better.
no. And then also the other thing, the other noticeable feature is that I think it's time that Trump realized that his endorsements don't carry as much weight as they did back in 2016 and 20, right? So he came out and said, well, we got to pick, Cuomo because he's more of a good guy. I mean, it's didn't work.
Not
Didn't
even
work in New
close.
York City. Didn't work in Virginia. So obviously, this is going to be a bad sign for the midterm elections in 2026 because people who were part of the MAGA movement, like, I'm sure three of us, we can count ourselves in that group, we have started to see things that we don't like. And we are speaking out about it. Whereas there are some who have developed, this Trump worship syndrome that, they're going along with whatever he said. But that number is not enough to move elections. I mean, you can see that. I mean, this is a clear indication that that's not going to happen when the midterms and the next 2028 election rolls around. So unless something changes, I think everything that we put our money on with the MAGA movement, Trump administration is going to go, just to shit. I mean, there's no other way of saying it.
I mean, I personally am not like I haven't, honestly. I didn't vote for DeWine when everybody said I needed to choose the better of two evils. I couldn't do it after seeing the suffering during COVID and watching what happened to people. Like there was never going to be justice for what he did, but it felt like my tiny little vote was just a little bit of justice. It was just a little bit of, I'm not voting for you, you're not getting my vote. And I think that's where people need to go. Like, we can't keep doing this. It's not working. Like, I'm going to be picking my vote based on specific things these people are doing. I don't care what party you are. I don't care how great you talk. I'm going to be looking at your track record. And the minute I hear about how when our country's in crisis, how you're going to go kiss a wall in another country, be it Ukraine, I don't care where it is, Israel, I think you just lost my vote. I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
It's bad. I mean, and you got another clip here to show everybody of well, essentially, I mean, what I would describe as the neocons trying to essentially take back and I mean, they're infiltrating MAGA, they're trashing Tucker Carlson, they're threatening physical violence against people like us who aren't about this. I mean, some of this say that they're not even hiding it anymore. It's just
No.
it's so bad. Let's take a listen here.
Is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern-day Hitler Youth, to broadcast and feature those who celebrate the Nazis, those who call for the extermination of Israel, to defend Hamas, to even criticize President Trump for stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Friends, make no mistake. Tucker is not MAGA.
Really clear, I'm in the Hitler sucks wing of the Republican Party. What is this Hitler shit? I don't know. Anyway, here's what I do know. You can sit in a basement, with weird people and say weird things. It's a free country, right? But if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out. If you're an anti-Semite and you think because somebody loves Israel, their brain is wired, that means you got a brain. Nothing wrong with your brain. We will meet you on the battlefield of political discourse, and we will beat you politically. I want the world to know anti-Semitism, anti-Israel rhetoric, anti-Israel thought is not the road to being elected as a Republican. You will lose.
And then the single most important national security decision the president has made was the decision to launch the bombing raid on the Iran nuclear facilities. I can tell you I was on the phone with the president every single week urging him to do that, and I will tell you there are other voices within the administration and without who were telling him not to.
Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters, American haters, Churchill haters. You're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them. It's called the market system. They don't have a lifetime job like a bureaucrat who we're going to protect. And if they're your friend, there's something wrong with you. No Hitler admirer, Holocaust denier, platformer should be anybody's friend, as a matter of fact. You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist bullshit around American patriotism. You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America first when you're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists and Hamas and the terrorists. That's not America first. That's...
Keep praying for me. I said, I want them to turn that place into a parking lot. I gotta preface it, because somebody gonna clip this and put it on the internet. Not because of the Palestinian people per se, individual people, but because if you dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God, you decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again. And it should be an example to everybody in the world that if you ever think about trying something like this, your country will cease to exist. Boy, if I was the prime minister, ooh, it's 48 hours. Give me 48 hours. And so it enraged me. And then I said my statement. I thought that most people in America were thinkers and had common sense. Well, shockingly enough, I was wrong, because after I said it, we see all this anti-Semitism popping up. We see mindless people on campus wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars getting no real education, and they're out here talking about from the river to the sea and don't even know which river it is. You got people out here saying death to Jewish people and gays for Palestine. I said, I swear, I'll pay for your ticket.
I mean, it's not even, they're not even hiding it. I mean, you have a sitting U.S. senator just say we're going to bash people's brains. You have other people talking
Funny,
about turning.
if you listen to what they're saying, they're basically telling us what they're doing, and then they're putting it on. I mean, it's basically deflecting, right? I mean, mindless people, people who don't think. I mean, that's who was standing behind that podium the entire time. That's what I was thinking. And then they come out and tell us that, oh, you know, there's these mindless people who are anti-Semitic. And notice that every time they say anti-Semitic, they also add the word pro-Hamas. Never in my life have I ever said I support Hamas, but if I say anything against the Israel government or the IDF, automatically you get anti-Semitic and pro-Hamas. I mean, this is how they do it, right? I mean, this is how the media, the propaganda arm of the Israel and the Zionist state, that's how they do it. So they constantly keep repeating it so that now you look like you're a terrorist supporter. And this is the same thing that happened to Mamdani, right? He's Muslim, and every time, Andrea, like you said, the Bush administration started this right after 9/11, that every Muslim was seen as a terrorist, and every time you saw a Muslim or somebody from the Middle East, it was a terrorist. I mean, I don't know if I have told you this, told you guys this, but I posted it somewhere. Somebody almost ran me over in a Walmart parking lot right after 9/11 because they thought that I was Muslim. Because people in this country are ignorant that way. Because I mean, like they go by skin color or whatever. Like you look like a terrorist or you look some different. This is how it's going to be. I mean, like I can see it building up, right? I mean, in a couple of years, the best part is these people who are getting elected who are anti-Zionist, it's going to be a trend. And I think I said this, maybe in the last episode or, I posted it on Facebook. That's where the vote's going to be. I mean, you can see the young generations turning up in large numbers, and Gen X, Z are basically done with this two-party system. They don't want anything to do with this Zionist bullshit. They're going to vote for people who are not for supporting Israel. And you wait till Gen Alpha gets up there in 3 or 4 years to vote. I mean, you're going to see this whole demographic, whole thing change. And that's what I think the Zionists are afraid of. That's why they're panicking. That's why they are getting so upset. That's why they're pouring money. They're buying TikTok. They're buying social media. They're using geofencing churches, text messages. I mean, all of this is because they know what's going to come in the next 3 to 4 years. And I think
absolutely. And I haven't said this on this show yet, but with what's come out on with stuff Candace has unearthed with the planes and stuff from Egypt around following Charlie Kirk, the cell phones that it was out in the crowd at the time, exactly what you're pointing to. I'm going to say that is exactly why Charlie Kirk is no longer here. The most influential person on the younger generation and young people in this country started to speak out against Zionism and against the Zionists in this country and the propaganda that was going. And just like you said, what they are scared of, he would have been at the tip of that spear with that, and he had to go.
Right. And this is why I think, I have certain opinions about his wife and her taking over Turning Point USA and known Zionists like, Ben Shapiro coming on board, and everything points to the fact that they are panicking that Gen Alpha is like their target, right? I mean, these kids who are not quite voting age yet, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, those are the people who are going to make the difference because they are going to grow up seeing this nonsense, and they're not going to buy any of this bullshit. That I mean, it doesn't matter. It's Republican, Democrat. It doesn't matter. They're both the same, right? They are both slaves to the Zionist cause. And there was a great video. I think it's on my Facebook page, but I'm going to post it to the Patriots Table Facebook page. After we get off the show, it's a really good explanation, actually a biblical explanation, and I actually verified what the guy was saying was true as to why the people in the Zionists in Israel are not God's chosen people. In fact, they are quite the opposite. And why these evangelical Christians and the Christian Zionists in this country need to wake the hell up and know that they have been misled before things don't go, too well in either direction. I mean, basically, and the fact that it's the political arena is so entrenched in it. I mean, everything is about Israel. So what the hell are you talking about America first? What is making America great again? All these people in the MAGA movement who are so consumed about, people doing right by Israel, don't look at us and call us anti-Semitic and why we should be more MAGA like, right? Because we are actually more MAGA than you
Yeah,
because
the
we want,
original MAGA, the whole point
right,
of it was America first. Like,
America first
so,
and keep the things here,
And I'm
fix things here.
what's good for Israel and what's best for Israel is not what is best for America, or vice versa. So you cannot say, well, what we're doing for Israel is what's best for America.
how?
Bullshit.
They
How?
can't give you one reason because
I
Yeah,
we're giving
yeah.
them so much money and so much of our everything. I mean, for people that freak out about socialism, by the way, let's just take a step back here. When we're dumping all of our tax dollars as American citizens into other countries that we don't live in, let's see. Doesn't that kind of sound like a global scale of socialism? Like where we're taking all of our money and we're working, but we're getting no benefit. It's just going to someone else that needs help, supposedly, which we know that's not the case. But
take from the wealthy economy, give it to the like we talked about it the last episode. We're bailing out Argentina's economy and instead of our like there's all these tens and tens of billions of dollars going everywhere but here. And I haven't been for a lot of like welfare programs because I don't think it really fixes the problem. It creates dependency. But geez, if we're going to be sending these tens of billions of dollars, like can we, yeah, put it into welfare programs here, like at least make here better. We have
I
our
mean,
government's been shut down for how long? We're about to have people, not have their stamps to get food. Like why are we bailing out Argentina's economy when we're
well,
about to hit a point here?
further than
It's
that,
not
let's
good.
just put it this way. If you committed to take care of these people and they signed up on government benefits and you committed to that, you have a responsibility as a government now to those people. So nothing has changed. So in this case, absolutely. So foreign money didn't stop leaving our country to go, whatever agenda we have going on, but we're taking food away from people here. That doesn't make any sense. And that doesn't have a side. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know how far this is true, but I did see. I mean, I follow Christiane Hall. I mean, she's a constitutional lawyer, very good. And she was saying that I mean, this is something is wrong because the SNAP benefits should not be tied to like day-to-day government funding. I mean, that is like a given. Like it's a it's not a subsidy, but it's like a given right to the people. I mean, like once you say you're giving it, I mean, they have the right to get it. So you cannot tie that to a day-to-day operational,
Yeah.
thing. So somewhere maybe they have changed something was what she was saying that's happening. I think it's all a bunch of hooey because they're just doing this to just, and they're getting paid. I mean, they're getting apparently $79 or $70 or whatever a day for their food allowance. That's ridiculous, right? And here are people who need the help, not getting anything. So, I mean, like, this is where I have a problem with not just the Democrats, both parties. I mean, they're all in this and they're all doing it because they just don't care about people. Right? I mean,
No.
that's the bottom line. I mean, you have to understand, look at everything they're doing. I mean, all this stuff that is going on, like deportations, ICE raids, National Guard running around, none of that stuff really is putting food on the table. I mean, I see there's plenty of homeless camps out here in Cleveland. I mean, we drive by them every day. I mean, these are, you know, obviously people who are either veterans or people who just lost their jobs or whatever. I mean, the COVID caused a lot of it. No one is taking care of them, whereas other countries getting billions of dollars are taking care of their people. So what is going on here? I mean, like, why is it that more important than the people here? And then we're talking about America first. And we have socialist programs here. I mean, like Medicare, Medicaid is a good example, right? I mean, SNAP benefits. I mean, these are all semi-socialist
All
programs. So we can't just pretend like, we hate socialism and we don't want anything. It's all capitalism. It's not.
I
There's
mean,
all
but
this
me and Trey
mixture.
talked about this. We talked about this driving home today. We don't have actual real capitalism in this country.
No.
That's a lie as well. Like, true
Right.
capitalism is a free market and et cetera. We have monopolies. I mean,
Mhm.
look at our healthcare, look at everything. Like, so don't sit here and pretend like, oh, capitalism is great. We don't even have real capitalism.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
and
think there's a
and
pure form of anything.
the wage inflation has gotten so bad, and I heard a really disturbing number earlier this week for a single income household to have the same buying power for like houses and just the same spending power as they did back in 1970, which realistically it wasn't that long ago.
Uh-huh.
What they would have to make minimum an hour is $66 an hour. That's almost
Yep.
$140,000 a year. That is insane. That is like right now, that is like a really upper middle class, right? Like that's not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
considered like there's barely a middle class. Like the middle class and the lower class, or that gap is like shrinking exponentially.
Uh-huh.
So you want to talk about all these jobs that are getting created and everything just since Trump's been in office. There's not enough good enough paying jobs for people to afford a comfortable living in America right now. There's just not. Minimum wage is a joke. I mean, I get things can't be like you can't pump all this money into the economy and wages not go up with it. Like if there's going to be if everything's going to cost this much, wages have to increase with it. And that's not happening. Inflation, the price of everything skyrocketed years ago under the Biden administration, and wages have not cut up at all.
Uh-huh.
Like it's barely gone up. So everyone talk about these, and to your point, Ravi, with what this next generation is going to be voting for, they're not going to know what it's like to be homeowners.
Uh-huh.
Like people aren't
Yeah.
going to be able to afford to buy a house.
Yep.
Like, and it's not it is very, very difficult, if not impossible, for families to make it off of just a single income now. Like your good old Christian conservative that's like, oh, wife needs to stay home, raise the kids, have a family, husband go to work, all this stuff. Like that's not really plausible anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's become normal that you pretty much have to have a two-income household in some way, shape, or form, which means you're paying for childcare, which means you're not spending the time that you want with your children. So you're going to actually see less couples having either a decent amount of children or children at all because it's destroying the family dynamic altogether, all about just living comfortably. It's really, really, really bad, and nobody's talking about that at all.
I mean, we already have a negative birth rate in the U.S. I mean, for the last couple of years, like that's coming, and it's not just if you kind of look back, during COVID, they kind of like push this whole idea of these 15-minute cities, right? So just like you said, I mean, this is the future. Like you won't own homes. I mean, you will have high-rise buildings owned by the government that where you'll have an apartment and you'll be walking to everything or riding bikes because why do you think they're putting all these bike lanes that nobody's using? So scooters, bikes, people won't even have a car. I mean, like, the car payment and the house payment were the two largest payments in an American family in the past, right? I mean, that was the standard, two payments that everybody made because they had to have a car and a house. Those are not going to be possible with what's coming on. I mean, like people, these jobs they're talking about, I mean, these are Amazon drivers and, uh, Grubhub and, all these Uber Eats people. I mean, that's not sustainable living.
I'll even
Yeah,
add
we are
into
seeing
this
that
too.
change. And unfortunately, but that generation also doesn't care. They don't mind doing that
No.
because their priorities are different. Rather than, they don't see it as like raising a family, sending kids to school, getting them good jobs. That stuff is, gone. They're playing with their virtual reality sets and living in a world of fantasy, pretty
Yeah, well, I
much.
even add to that, we have the generation before me and the boomers. They worked hard so they could retire. And some of them worked hard and never got to live their lives because they were going to get their kids taken care of, whatever. The American dream was promised, okay? That was all set up. And now here we are. They can barely afford to keep their houses because how high
Uh-huh.
property taxes are. I mean, I was just talking about this with someone else today. You actually don't own your home. We already have you will own nothing. You will be happy. It's just hidden because the minute you
Uh-huh.
miss too many tax payments because you can't afford this ever ending property tax increases and you're elderly and you can't work anymore and your social security is not enough, you lose your home to the government. How is
Which is
how
why
is
in
this
Ohio
helping
we have
anyone?
the
This can't keep going.
which is why in Ohio we have the abolish real estate tax petition going around. People in Ohio need to pay
No.
attention. Every county needs to find a place that they need to go and sign that petition and get it on the ballot, so that
Hmm.
you get to keep your home. I mean, the government is wasting money. That is the biggest problem we have right now. I mean, they
And
have
lining
enough
their
money, they
pockets with
just don't
it.
know how to use it.
They're lining their pockets with it too and becoming
Yeah.
billionaires.
Right. Or their friends' pockets. I mean, this is the capitalism we're talking about, and this is what we are, so proud of. That's theft.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and
We all work really
we're
hard and they take our money and do whatever they want with it, including,
Uh-huh.
bomb other children in a foreign country. It's sick. It's disgusting. And a lot of us has been saying this a long time. This didn't just start 3 years ago. Like I was talking about
no.
stuff like this before COVID.
And this didn't start with Obama. It was
No.
way
No.
before that. It didn't even start with the Bushes or the Clintons. It was way before that. The corruption has been deep-rooted for a very, very long time. The only reason it is this in our faces now is because they're that confident and that un untouchable. Like you can't even
Uh-huh.
like it's it's a perfect setup. Like if you were gonna try if 5,000 people in any given place in America was like, we're done with this, we're taking a stand, we're standing up to this. Okay, where are you taking a stand? Where's the enemy? Like this has been like it's in everything.
Uh-huh.
You can't it's not like you're just gonna go to the neighborhood bully and punch him and then shatter his ego and then you're good, you're free. This isn't that.
Yeah.
It's it's infected every aspect of our politics, our infrastructure, our daily lives from a local level all the way up to the highest levels of federal government.
Well, and I think I saw you and Gary talking about this online the other day. I don't remember what post it was, Robbie, but you were talking about back in like your guys' generation. You just showed up and voted and you got to live your life. You didn't have to sit here, and go
Uh-huh.
60 ways to Sunday to figure out what's going on in the political sphere. And I mean, that must have been nice. So now you here we are today. That's not even possible. Like, I don't get to just live my life and vote and everything's just going to be fine. Like, that doesn't exist for anyone now. You literally can't do that because we have such a corrupt government. Not that it wasn't corrupt then, but now it's on steroids. Everything is.
Yeah, I think it was there back then too. We just didn't realize the
Yeah.
extent of it, and the scale of it wasn't that it affected a lot of people. I mean, whatever they did back there, the people got, whatever they wanted to, so it was fine, right? Now it's
Hmm.
completely different. I mean, it's in your face. I mean, we see, we know. That's the great thing about the information age, because now we have access to all the
Hmm.
information. Like, imagine like in the fall, Israel bombed the hell out of Palestine in the fall, 1947, 48. Nobody knew
Hmm.
about it
Yep.
except, what was
No.
said in the papers,
People
right?
getting bombed. Yeah.
Today we have people from the inside and outside and satellites, like live streaming everything that's going on there. And we have idiots who still don't believe nothing is happening, but, the
Yeah.
information is there. So, you
I
cannot
mean,
hide anymore.
and like I knock social media for many reasons all the time. I mean, I could go down the list of reasons why it's got its bad side, but there is a good side to it. Now
Uh-huh.
people can get together and find each other and go, if they do want to seek the truth, they can all connect and they all can talk and they will keep talking and you can censor us, you can try to shut us down, but we all find a way to get what we need to say out. And I think
Yeah.
that is the chance we have to some extent in this mess is you can't shut people up very easily anymore. Sadly, it's accomplished, it seems, by deplatforming, or if you want to go to the extreme sense, shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck. That's how they're
Yeah.
going to start shutting people up.
No? And
Well,
now
yeah. I
you got
mean,
the Zionists trying to say that the MAGA is MAGA. I mean, it's the neocons, the old Republican Party is trying to hijack the whole thing. You have a big split down the MAGA movement now between the neocons, the Zionists, and the people who actually just wanted to make America great again and see us care for what we're doing on a daily basis. I mean, people are sick and tired of it. If you listen, and I think Tucker did a fantastic job when he was talking about the five pillars of MAGA and what that was, and he was playing clips of President Trump talking about these points, these pillars, and of course all these clips were years ago. I mean, it
yeah.
wasn't now. I mean, that's what people wanted, and that's not what we're getting. It's not what we've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
getting at all.
I
And
mean, we voted to
even to
drain
your
the swamp, right? Make things right, end the corruption, throw people who were involved in corruption in jail, release the Epstein files, throw those people in jail because, they were raping children on an island. None of that has happened.
I'm
And
still
people are
waiting for
talking about,
Hillary to go to jail. I mean, that was one of his first things. His first go
yeah,
That's
around was
never
that.
happening,
I mean,
Trey.
that
Okay.
that was no, but that was huge. That went viral when Hillary's like, we're just so fortunate that somebody with the temperament of Donald J. Trump's not in charge of our country, and he's like, and you'd be in jail. Like that was like huge for
yeah,
months. That's
yeah, I remember
people
that.
still laugh at that video, and I'm like,
You go find that Trump, he's gone.
she's
I
still
just saw
running
him.
around. What's going on? Like, is that
Yeah.
is that what we're reduced to? Like, we can't even trust good things that are being said because it's all just fluff. It's all just for show to get it in. Like, that's so bad. Like, nothing that he was saying before and what Tucker was talking about, those five pillars, Trump has been doing now. Like, really, I would even argue none of it. The immigration thing, like, you're even the stories coming out of even some of the people that they're going after, people that are where our system has failed them. Our immigration system has failed them. They came here legally. They've been here legally for 20 plus years, and the immigration system has failed, and then they all of a sudden are illegal after being here 20 plus years, had 2, 3 kids, built a business,
Yeah.
paid their taxes and everything. So, and ICE is banging down their door and ripping them from their families and homes, and
Well, I
this is
mean,
all they know. So it's
the
like,
other
no,
point,
I don't see MAGA right now in any of it. I see
No.
everything was hijacked. All the people who came over, that I think MAGA was one of the biggest movements to sweep this country in our history in the play, like since Reagan, since the Reagan administration, we haven't seen something like this
Yeah.
because people believed we were actually had a chance to do this, and virtually none of it is happening. It is just not happening.
Well, that's because
We're creeping up on a year. We're creeping up on a year. It's
yeah.
already
That's the other
November.
thing. I mean, people keep telling me like, "Oh, you're gonna give him time." Like, no. I mean, it's been a
Give them
year, and
time.
the direction has been opposite to where it should be going, and that's because they both parties, both people, everybody involved. Clintons, Obama, everybody. They all serve the same master, and it's not the people of the people of this country. They're serving a master outside of this country. This is the big problem. So now, if somebody asks me why I'm so obsessed about this whole Zionist issue, that's why. Because nothing will happen in this country as
because
long
it's
as we serve
relevant.
those.
It's relevant to the political landscape right now.
Right.
I'm so
Why are you
tired of
Yeah.
still
that.
talking
Why are you
about this?
talking about this? We need you to shut up. Like all the time from people that don't run my page. Like I'm waiting to get paid, like for you to tell me what I'm allowed to post and talk about. I haven't seen any of that money yet, and I probably wouldn't take it. But like, why wouldn't we talk about this? We are sick of talking about it. I would love to wake up one morning and there not be absolute chaos off the deep end happening in our country. I keep wishing for that. It hasn't happened. Like, I think we joked around how, oh, finally we could stop talking about this. Maybe it'll stop. It just gets worse. I opened X
We were
and
talking
all those
about that or
clips
the
come up of
ceasefire.
that.
Oh, we might get a
I was just
break.
like, what? Like, all those clips come up of Lindsey Graham and Brandon Tate, and I'm like, oh, I have to say something. This is so gross. Like, you sit there and you're just like, I can't. Like, I try. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting sucked into that today. I'm not watching that. What? He said what? Like, I don't know how to leave this topic because it's just so bizarre. Did you all see what they did to Brett Cooper? She said how Randy Fine should move to Israel and how
Yeah.
he was saying how he didn't wash his hand after Bibi touched him. Like, how gross and weird is that? Like, what? And now she's a Hitler lover, guys. Like, I love how Candace put it today. She's like, if I disagree with you, you're Hitler automatically. This is what everybody says. The left does it, the right does it. You're just Hitler. That's the new cool word. Hitler and anti-Semite every time,
Yeah.
hands down.
You're pro Nazi. You're a Nazi. You're a Klan. You're this or that. And I also like what Candace said. Can we just turn this into like an Amber Alert thing? Like just give us an alert whenever whoever's the Nazi right now, whoever's the Hitler. I mean,
they have a list of
gosh,
like,
it's
I don't know, 6 people or something like that right now, I think. That they
can add us
consider
to the
like,
list.
yeah, pretty soon, I think we'll get on that list too. But I
At
mean,
least locally, we're the local Nazis here, I
yeah.
guess.
I mean, I don't really care what people think. I mean, these are facts. I mean, I present. I mean, like I have been presenting facts to you. If you don't want to, read, understand, and accept it, that's fine by me. I mean, because ignorance
They
is
don't
also a
even
choice,
know. These
right?
people won't even have a real conversation. Like, I
No.
had this guy spiraling on my page yesterday because one of my friends I got banned on TikTok. Like, one of my posts got banned of Charlie Kirk talking. It was nothing I said. He's talking about Israel, of course. It got taken down for like 30 seconds, okay? And it's obvious they're going to start doing that now. And I post about it, and the guy goes, TikTok's owned by China. I was like, where have you been? No, here's this. And
Yeah.
he's like, you're an anti-Semite. Automatically. He didn't even like go, hey, I'm really sorry. I was wrong. Wow, new information. Automatic, you're an anti-Semite. And I'm like, what? Can you have
That's
a
what I'm saying. These
conversation?
people are no better than the left. They claim they are, but they are no better than the left. They are going to go to the same. I mean, oh, you're racist. You're racist. You say George Floyd was on drugs. Oh, well, you're just a racist. You
Yeah.
say, no, an American company owns TikTok, and this guy is actually best friends with Bibi Netanyahu, and it's essentially TikTok's controlled by Israel now,
They
and the
openly said,
Zionists, and
we had the clip on here of Bibi
Yeah.
saying when that purchase happened, how great it was, and they needed it to happen. So, man, sure, Israel didn't sign. Israel bought TikTok on the paper. It's
but
common sense. You can see it.
Zionists are running it. Zionists are running it,
Literally
and
said they were going to
now
monitor and deplatform people on TikTok that didn't go with their agenda, and they were so excited about this. His name's Larry
And then they were
Ellison,
going out for
everybody.
X too. I mean, I remember
Yeah,
Bibi
X.
saying
right.
that
So
Elon
how
was
is
a friend.
I
That he
would
was
like
gonna.
to this doesn't even make like if you want to try and say the truth and they're lying about it and they want to call you an anti-Semite, okay, whatever. I can see why they're doing that. Do I agree? Do I think it's appalling? Yes. But to call you an anti-Semite when you say what Bibi Netanyahu is bragging about and what he's wanting and what they're
Was Bibi the
doing.
anti-Semite?
So like, yeah, is Bibi Netanyahu the anti-Semite? Because you're just pointing out what he said. I mean, we showed it on the show. How is that anti-Semitic? That's so yeah, Bibi's anti-Semitic now?
Well, the thing is,
Let's
like
just
I
like
think
talk
they
about
know. The Zionists already know that they are on, they are on their last leg, right? I mean, what they have done, everybody now knows, except the, Christian Zionists over here. Everybody in the world knows it, and there's a tremendous amount of pushback. and the younger generations are not going to support them like the older generations here are. So like they have no choice but to do that because that is going to be their mantra. I mean, like you keep saying some of these things to people, they're going to start believing it. Right? I mean, you keep telling somebody you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're racist, you're racist. I mean, at some point, the brain starts interpreting that as the truth. I mean, this is
Don't
how
worry,
the
it'll
media
never happen to
manipulates you
me.
too.
I'll never
Yeah,
accept
I
it
mean,
as
like
the
there are
truth.
some of us who probably don't give rat's bottom about what we are being labeled as. I mean that's fine. I mean I don't really care. I've been labeled worse. But the fact is that you need to.
Should we get a wall started, Ravi, of all the names we've been called? So we could
I
call it the
was
new
thinking
Some
wall.
like
of some of those
we
some
can
of the things
start
I've
our
been
own
called
like
actually public because it's
Well, we could put tape over those ones who just know they're
yeah,
public.
man.
Okay.
or like the Boy Scouts, we can do like merit badges. You can have you were
Yeah,
called this, oh you get a badge. We'll
yeah.
start our own merit badge.
Or we can start our own
No,
Cards for Humanity game.
Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. Yeah.
Oh God.
Uh,
This is a good
It's
idea.
yeah,
You know that there's that one artist that took all the mean things ever said to her online and turned it into a song, and it was a huge hit.
yeah,
We can
it's
just
good.
start a new card game.
Mhm. Yeah, because I
yeah.
can't sing. You don't
I don't
ask
know.
me to.
Some of these things me and Andrea joke about, and it'll be like something will happen, and it's been so unhinged the past few months. It's like, man, I didn't even have that on my bingo card. Like that wasn't even in,
Yeah.
that wasn't even in the game. That came from out of left field, out of nowhere. But it's oh, we are gonna. I really do want to get past this stuff so we can talk about other things here soon. I mean, I think the Zionists are, like you said, Ravi, they're on their last leg, and they know their days are numbered to an extent. I know maybe some of the higher ups think they're untouchable and delusional, but I mean, so did, and we've talked about this before too, so did every empire in
Oh yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were too big to fail, and eventually they crumbled and they failed. I mean, that's what's happened,
I mean, I think
and
all
it'll
we need
continue to
is
happen.
yeah, I think all we need for this to happen is a few people in the political arena as well as the religious arena. I mean, like we need a few pastors to wake up. And there are a few. I mean, I watched a couple of them,
Yeah, there are.
because all of this Zionist, worship comes from the evangelical church. I mean, this is what they're being told in
It
church,
really
and they
isn't
believe it.
just the evangelical church, though.
Well,
It
there's
really
the other
isn't.
like
It might
smaller
be a big
denominations
majority.
too. Yeah, but some
Yeah.
some of them, I mean, like
Yeah.
we have Christians among our groups who totally understand what's going on and that they don't support what's going on there at all. And we need a few more of these pastors to come out and have the guts to because obviously we should probably remind them that they're going to go to hell too if they lie, right? I mean, maybe that's maybe that'll become like a motivating
Probably.
factor. Hey, Pastor, you're lying because I mean, I'm writing down the Bible verses right now, like Matthew 21, whatever. I mean, like I'm writing those down and I'm going to like send those, message them out to people who are pastors and say like, hey, read these. And if you don't, then you're going against what's in the New Testament in the Bible and you're lying to people. And you know what that gets you. I mean, you'll be sitting next to me,
Maybe
eventually
they did.
someday.
Well, there we saw it all before though too, like with COVID, all the
Yeah.
pastors shut up and sat down and
Yeah.
played by the rules because and what and why? Because they didn't want to lose their nonprofit status.
That's right.
They
Yeah.
didn't want to have to pay taxes. So
Uh-huh.
you would rather push the political propaganda and what I mean, that's honestly what you not even what you're like it goes against what you're teaching in
Yeah.
church so you don't have to pay taxes. Like what message did you send the Christian population of America? Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna sit there and talk about look at the the disciples and what they went through and their trials and their cross, and we need to go out, we need to do this and do that, and it's our turn, and choose us, God, choose me, God. Oh, I gotta do that. Nope, I'm not gonna pay taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. That would hurt our
Yeah.
that would hurt our mission
I mean,
trip
this
to
is what it
Uganda. We
is. Yeah,
wouldn't be
I
able to
think,
take pictures with the orphans. We couldn't take pictures with the orphans, so we're gonna mask up, sit down, shut up, and you guys sit over here, you guys sit over here, and we'll be good. I
I'll go
mean,
I
it's
mean,
online.
I
I mean,
think
that's
so
what.
there's a really good point here too. Like, people will talk about, I don't remember where I saw it or who said it, but it was something online. We applied to family, but it applies here too. It was, people are always saying, oh, I would die for you. I would die for you and this and that. But would you live for that person? In other words, would you be willing to do what it takes in this life? Why are you always focused on death? And I think that's the thing with like
Uh-huh.
these churches and these people. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be like that hero I read about, but I don't want to be the hero right now where it's actually really hard to be. And it might be simply speaking up and telling the truth, no matter what it costs you. It might be that simple and seems so insignificant to you, but that actually is the big step you need to be taking.
mm, ev-
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody
Well,
wants to go
everybody's
out in a
waiting
blaze of
to.
glory with cameras and this perfect little sap story, but I've used this example numerous times. When you talk about the founding of America, that a lot of people remember the big names, the George Washingtons and the Thomas
Uh-huh.
Paines and the Benjamin Franklins and all these guys who stood up, but nobody remembers the names of the people before the colonies started taking a stand against England, the people who were first saying, no, this isn't okay, that
Uh-huh.
were getting shot and hung by British officers for speaking out first. The people, those are, in my opinion, the unsung heroes. Those are the real heroes of the American Revolution, the people who were the first ones to stand up and say, this isn't okay, say it from the street corners, write it in the papers, and get thrown in jail, ripped from their families, while everybody else was still okay with the status quo. It wasn't
Figuring it
that
out.
bad yet. We're
Uh-huh.
just waiting it out. Let's just write up another petition to the king, and the king will take care of us. So that's in a lot of ways that's what we're in right now.
Vote for
And
the lesser of two evils. It just works
yeah,
out
yeah,
so
just
well.
vote for the lesser of two evils. Don't make too many.
Yeah.
Don't make the GOP look bad because the Democrats are so much worse, and they'll bring the liberals and the socialism, and the Muslims will come here and Sharia law. It's like, are you guys not learning from history at all? Like, those
No.
who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, and it's happened every single time. And for some reason, every time it happens, that population thinks, oh, well, we're different. It's different for us this time. Our society's different. It's just too good. We we have we have God on our side.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well.
mean, so did the British Empire, and gosh, even Nazi Germany said they had God on their side. The Crusaders and all that stuff had
Mhm.
God on
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
side before they got their asses kicked and kicked out of the Middle East. I mean, so it's just you're not too big to fail. This is going to come crashing and burning, and I urge you, be on the right side of history. Speak the truth, no matter what other people think.
Yeah, that's not going to happen right now because of the fact that it's backed by religious dogma. I mean, people are afraid. I mean, like people, because faith is something that, you don't want to give up because you're afraid that if you do and then something happens and you're going to be responsible for it. They're all waiting for this, second coming of Jesus, which, if you really read the New Testament and interpret it the way it was meant to be, there's no person coming down. I mean, it's, it's a consciousness thing, and we're already there. I mean, like, and the people need to like stop listening to for a moment. Stop listening to everything that you're hearing from your churches and your pastors and everybody, and just think for yourself for a minute. I mean, that's why Thomas Paine, I think, famously said, "My mind is my own temple." So get into a corner and get into your temple and figure things out. I mean, you'll see it differently, which is what's happening to some of us, and the rest of us are just following along until you
Yeah,
come to
I
the edge
think
of the
this
cliff.
goes back. Well, and it's like people like don't want to admit this, but they're afraid, right? They're afraid of
Mhm.
taking ownership,
Yep.
and they're afraid of not being controlled. And like we all talk about freedom. You know where freedom begins? It's not through legislation or a country, it's within you. So if you want to actually
Uh-huh.
preserve freedom, it starts with you. No matter what's going on around you, freedom starts with you. So don't sit here and say you're fighting for freedom if you're unwilling to do that first, because it won't happen. You'll never be free.
No.
I think you
And
made a
don't tell
great
me you're
post
fighting for
today.
freedom being on Facebook, just being
Yeah.
on Facebook saying your whole Zionist spew too.
What were you gonna say, Robbie?
But
No, I said that I saw that you had posted a really good write up. You must have had a few moments of like an epiphany there. I urge people to go. People
I
should
had a,
read it.
I had a
I
few
think you were
moments
spot
of
on
I'm
with that.
pissed off.
Think
I've
you
had
know,
it.
it's
I'll go ahead to it's closing the episode. I'll just take a minute and just read it for everybody real quick. I
Oh
think it
gosh.
there
was
we go. Yeah, very
very
good.
well written and everything. And I think it's a great thing to leave everybody with. Um, so again, this is Andrea wrote this. Very well done. It's for everyone posting about how nobody showed up last night, how the Democrats won again, and asking what the solution is, you really haven't been paying attention or you're intentionally deflecting. I remember when people were tired of the Bush-era GOP, the forever wars and the lies that came after 9/11 and the lies that still keep coming out. Then came Obama riding in during 2008 crash. Families like mine were hurting and he made big promises like every politician does, but most of those promises never came true. Both sides are pretending to be for the middle class when we are the people who pay the most taxes based on our percentage of income. I'll never forget paying $700 per year out of my income at 19 because I didn't want Obamacare, getting fined for not needing something, and it wasn't hard to see our government doesn't represent us, it controls us. After that, I wanted as little to do with it as possible. Then Trump came along. America First caught my attention. I didn't care for his ego, but his policies made more sense than what we had before. I noticed groceries were cheaper, housing was affordable, and I even bought my first home in 2017. The MAGA movement felt like a new path, rejected the one that rejected the old, corrupt neocon GOP that had long forgotten about regular people. Then 2020 happened. We all know what came next. The lockdowns, the mandates, the hypocrisy. It all changed America forever. For those paying attention, we saw it coming long before 2020. I watched people I loved fall for it all, while the rest of us were labeled crazy for questioning anything, and we were right on almost all of it. I didn't end up in a camp, thankfully. Fast forward to 2023 and suddenly they all admit masks didn't work, mandates weren't working, and the GOP had a change of heart. Too little, too late. Most of them had followed DeWine and the establishment narrative until it became popular. I didn't forget the suicides, the financial devastation, the death of a friend because of COVID protocols, and the suffering that followed. When DeWine was up for re-election, I was told I had to vote for the lesser of two evils. I refused. 2024 rolled around and Trump was saying all the right things again against mandates pro-America, promising justice, but something felt off. Warp speed still bothered me, and his support for laws that could label criticism of Israel as hate speech didn't sit right. I always said his ego would be his greatest weakness and maybe his downfall. Let's not forget the Epstein scandal happened under his administration, and we never got the truth. The movement was supposed to fight for children and justice, gave us all silence instead. After the assassination attempt in Butler, I noticed Trump's tone shift. Some said it was trauma. I wonder if there was a bigger force reminding him who really holds power. Call it a theory, but his campaign speeches changed. Suddenly it was Israel this, Israel that. A major donor gave him $100 million with the promise to hold back Israel's takeover of the West Bank. America First quietly turned into Israel First. Now we're watching the same old playbook, endless money for wars, billions for defense, while America can't afford groceries or rent. Trump praises warp speed, gave $500 billion to Project Stargate, and attacks conservatives who oppose Middle East intervention. Then came the Trump/Gaza AI video promoting turning Gaza into a resort during active bombings. I spoke up and was called an anti-Semite for simply saying I don't want my tax dollars funding genocide and rebuilding another country. People didn't even believe Trump posted that embarrassing video to his Instagram, and it's still there today. I'll say it again, opposing genocide is not anti-Semitism, it's humanity. It means you have a moral center. It doesn't matter what race, religion, or country you're from. Hamas or IDF terrorism is terrorism. Our government launders money through Ukraine and Israel, waves foreign flags in our capital, and calls it patriotism. Meanwhile, our own country is crumbling. You don't run into someone else's burning house while your own is on fire with your children inside. Look at Gaza. The lies are blatant to anyone paying attention. Israel said they were only targeting terrorists, but the footage speaks for itself. And if you're Israeli, you should be angry too. Your government is using you just as ours is using us. And then came Charlie Kirk's assassination. The most transparent administration in history gave us nothing but silence and spin. People went in 50 different directions with theories because the truth was buried from the start. I say that you will about him, but his death brought people together in a strange way. Even those who don't like him are demanding answers. We all know Charlie Cook saw through the mob mentality when it came to one foreign government. We all somehow were told we were not allowed to criticize. So now here we are in another election. The Democrats showed up. Their people got in, and Republicans are asking what went wrong. The truth? MAGA turned into MAGA. The spark that once inspired millions is fading, if not dead. People don't want to go back to Bush-era GOP, and I never will. I'll never stand with politicians who use the Bible to justify killing innocent people. That's not Christianity, and I'll never again vote for the lesser of two evils. That mindset is why America is dying. You can't blame just one side. They're two wings of the same broken bird. You can choose to stay silent, keep voting, keep pretending everything's fine. I won't judge you, but for me, after years of fighting for strangers, I'm tired. Still, I believe what I do matters, even the small things. Change doesn't have to start in politics. It begins in our hearts, our homes, and how we treat each other. Your identity shouldn't come from politicians. It should come from who you really are. If you don't know what that looks like, today's a good start. Today's a good day to start finding out. And remember, when politicians quote the Bible, most of them aren't doing it because they value it. They're doing it to manipulate you. We're in a narcissistic relationship with our government. Lies, manipulation, control, and history tells us how those empires end. Every time it's the same story. Arrogant, corruption, collapse. And unless people wake up, we're next. I think Andrea said everything that a lot of people are thinking and put in a very elegant way. Better than I could have, that's for sure.
Yeah, she did a good job. I would have put a few cuss words in there.
I would have too.
Hey, I will admit, the rough draft had a lot more in it, and I just needed it to get to people and remove some of it.
Oh, see, I don't have filters these days. Sorry.
It's not really a filter, it just would have rambled on. It was already very long, as you can see.
Well, it was really great, and I hope everybody takes that to heart and go back and listen to it again and really sit with that.
I mean, I could have ended it with get your head out of your ass. We could have put that on the end, just for Robbie.
Yeah. I think we should. For this podcast, we're adding "get your head out of your ass" on the end of that.
Yeah.
So, but all right, we're well past our hour. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Bye, guys.